Hi there, my name is Junior Anthony Auzuga, and this is Hood Hood Basketball, where we document basketball activities across the various communities in Ghana. And at the moment, because of the pandemic, all sporting activities have been put on hold. So we are going to be bringing you more interview sessions to let you know what's happening in basketball scene. And I have with me Mr. Alex Kukula, who is the director for the Greater Accra Basketball League. We are going to be talking basketball, how the pandemic has affected the game, what their plans are. So stay tuned and don't go anywhere. Welcome to Hood to Hood Basketball.
Yeah, thank you, my brother.
Okay, so first of all, we'd like to know how you yourself you are faring in this time.
Well, it's been very, very difficult. I mean, for somebody who likes the outdoors, it has not been an easy period for some of us, especially when we put in so much to get the season started and everything got truncated suddenly. So it's not been easy. But I mean, we are keeping the faith, knowing that this thing will go away sometime.
So before the season, what was the plan like?
Well, the plan was to. We actually were supposed to start with the Division One because we had issues with the previous year with the teams that qualified to go to play in Africa. So we plan to do it early this year. And because of the election year, too, most of our players are in the security services and they'll be involved. So we plan to play it early, get our playoffs finished by the second week of November. That was the original plan. So that is why we started with the Division 1 first. And this year we even plan to have a longer playoffs. Last year we only had the final being the best of three, but this year we were supposed to have the semi-final also being a best of three. And then possibly the final being a best of five. But that was what we planned. But unfortunately, this thing came up and we had to stop somehow.
So how many games were we expected to see throughout the season?
Well, this caught me by surprise. I've gotten the numbers for you, but we're talking over 200 games. I think for just Division 1 alone. Because if we take for the men, we had 10 teams. And playing home and away for those 10 teams alone, that comes to about 100, over 100 matches for the regular season. Then with the women to having 8 teams. So together, they were supposed to be about more than 200 games just for Division 1, up to the playoffs.
So when the news broke that because of this pandemic, all sporting activities and public gatherings are to be put on hold, how did you feel?
Well, honestly, I can't describe it. I felt terrible because I was even thinking more of the players. I mean, can you imagine going through preseason and getting hyped up for the regular season and suddenly just play one match and suddenly they tell you the season is truncated? I mean, it was a very difficult thing to take. But our healths are more important than basketball. Basketball will be there whenever we go back. So I think it's rather unfortunate, but we just have to take it in our stride and hope for the best.
Okay, so what was the immediate plan to, and how did you announce it to the various teams and coaches?
We're lucky it was done for us. I mean, because if the government made a decision that no sporting activities, everybody at least heard it. But then we had to put out an official thing on we have platforms for coaches and players and team captains. So we put out a communique there to let everybody know that, this is, what has happened and we all have to comply, stay safe, and just wait till this thing blows over so that we will know what to do.
So during this period of no basketball, what's the communication like with the teams, and what are the plans like?
Well, there's been I have one-on-one with people not as it is. We have a platform. That's as I said. We have a platform for coaches and team captains. So usually, if we have any information to give out to them, we use that platform and we go on there almost every day to have chit chats of the way people ask questions and they are answered on our social media platforms. To people send questions in, and we make sure we answer them as soon as possible to give them the information they need. Though it's not the best, I think we should have had more content sitting out there regularly for people to get engaged. Fortunately, I've seen some other platforms where it's not a bad idea. On the basketball fraternity platform, there's been content there that's going on and people do have discussions. And it's good for keeping us, aware of where we are and where we want to go.
Once the ban is lifted, what are the measures in place to make sure that players are safe, the patrons that come in to watch the game adhere to proper precautionary measures?
For a contact sport, that would be very, very, very difficult, because what I'm seeing, we all see on TV what's happening with football, even the advanced countries. The protocols they are putting together there to even restart the leagues. We are nowhere near that. And for me, we know all of us want to go back and play. But I think from what we are seeing so far, if there's no vaccine for this pandemic, for this virus, it will be very difficult to have contact sport and think it is safe, because people can't play basketball with masks. You understand? And you can't say social distancing in basketball is a very close contact sport. So we just hope that there's if there's a treatment for it, even if there's no one, there's a treatment for it, then we know maybe then we can move on from there. Fortunately, we have experts too who will give direction on how to. I think before even they will lift the ban, they will tell us that you can do this, you can't do that. Then we'll look at it and see if we can fit it in our league and play it safely for both players and spectators. Then we'll move on with
that. Has this whole thing affected sponsorship for the league?
Absolutely. What we had with MTN was a rolling thing, but usually we just a week before we went into a meeting with them, gave them the report on the league, and we started the process of renewing it for this year. Unfortunately, this thing has come true, so it has affected because they can't throw money at nothing. There's nothing going on, so you can't go and tell them that, oh, how far have you gone with the deal for this year? So we just hope something happens. If it doesn't happen, we know they are there for us. Maybe if it is next year or something, then we'll move on and go back to them and ask for more. Even before that, because we were going to have a longer and a bigger playoffs. We actually packaged the playoffs separately from the main season. And we have people in the corporate world, we gave it to them to source funds for just the playoffs. They were going about it before this thing came up. So I don't know how we'll go about it now, because we packaged it to be a 2-week playoffs with the number of teams, the number of matches that will be played. But it looks like, because we are far gone into the year, even if taking into consideration the elections coming up, even if there's space for us to play, we can't go and do it the same way we plan to do it. It will not just be possible. So even if there's space, I'm looking at if we have a 3-month window. That's between the middle of November backwards. If we have 3 months, 3 months that they say we can play, then I think we can do something. But if it's less than that, I'm afraid I think it will be very difficult. Maybe we'll just organize small tournaments, just non-competitive, just for players too. But to get a very good league and a good playoffs, if we need time to do that.
So fans of the game want to know what's happening, and other people that are interested in the game as well, that like see the game on our social media and YouTube channel, want to know what's going on with the Accra Basketball League. Do you have anything to tell them?
Yes, I mean, what I'll tell them is first and foremost, we all have to keep safe. I mean, we have directions on what to do and what not to do. I think we should all just be patient. It's very difficult for especially sporting people to sit at home and try not to mingle with people because we are used to being together. But unfortunately, this thing has come up. It's a sacrifice we should all make for our own safety. Let's keep safe, and God willing, we would have a better competition when everything settles down. So my advice is that though we don't have that, thanks to you people like this, I mean, you've come to talk to me. I mean, so thanks to you, we get to talk to our people on a wider scope, so that everybody should just stay safe. We'll see what happens.
Thank you very much.
Thank you too.
Well, you've heard it. It's unfortunate we have to stay away from basketball for a while, but just as he said, stay safe, keep to the precautionary measures, and very soon basketball will be back. And my name is Junior Anthony Auzuga, and this is Hood to Hood Basketball. You can follow us on our social media platforms and also subscribe to our YouTube channel.